they do have the potential to come back in and completely and utterly smash you. So we'll see how it goes for SKT on the blue side. We can see first ban coming out is going to be that Kog'Maw. Songyun playing pretty well on it. So just deciding to take that one off the board.
One of the big drafting mistakes we saw was on the red side, SKT first banning Zed. Okay, Mickey has a very scary Zed. At the start of the season, Twisted Fate Zed auto-ban against Afreeca on both sides of the rift, you'll win the game. But you only really have the flexibility to go for those bans on the blue side. It's when you're on the blue side, you know, where the red side team has to ban the OPs, that you get the flexibility to ban trademark champions. It's why you were talking about AHQ in last series, why AHQ solely will run West Door on the blue side, because they're in the position to do the favorable situation. The red side team can't afford to ban the Fizz, ban West Door's trademark champions.
Yep.
Now SKT's on the blue side, we might have to see multiple adaptation bans and the Zed potentially be open as a red side 5th pick for Afreeca.
Yeah, you can see though, Afreeca not looking to make the same mistake that SKT did.
No, they banned the Zed.
They ban away the Nidalee, and yeah, Zed still coming out against Mickey. Do not want to see that, so much respect being paid to him. Avera's, of course, taken away after he had a very strong performance on that laning against Faker. Last ban coming through from Afreeca. A lot still on the board. Kalista, of course, more than likely going to be this final ban. We'll have to see what they decide to do, though. They banned out Bard and Trundle in the last draft, so thinking about it, it's actually going to be Corki, so Kalista makes it through. We could see that picked up here for Bang.
Both Kalista and Corki have been very powerful picks for SKT. SKT first pick Corki and then flex it between AD carry and mid lane. Faker's best champion we've seen in 2016 has been the Corki, but leaving up the Kalista's a pretty stiff price. Now, the one interesting fact is with Nidalee banned, Gragas really shoots up in priority because Kalista's the only other strong dueling jungler, so Kindred is the only other strong dueling jungler, and Gragas works so well into that pick.
Yep, and we can see that that is going to be the first pick here for, it's going to be Blank in the jungle, but of course Kalista could just go through first round, gets locked in, so we're going to see Songyun on it.
At the start of this season, there was a long patch, I believe it was 5 best-of series, where Afreeca had only won games when Songyun played the Kindred. So the Kalista Kindred, stuck in my head. Kalista was 6-2. He was 6-2 on Kalista, had not won a game on any other AD carry. Now he's improved his record since then, but while it's not Bang level of priority for banning away the Kalista, Songyun does play a fearsome Kalista.
Yeah. You see Trundle gets picked up. This is what Afreeca banned in the last round when they were on the blue side. So picking it up, this could be a flex. And of course, Ixu may be looking to play that Trundle on the top side, but it could also be Snowflower on support down in the bot lane. But it's going to be this Lucian Braum coming back out here from Bang & Wolf. See how it goes the second time around. Laning-wise, they were doing really well, putting a lot of pressure down on the Snowflower. Granted, he was playing Morgana, a much squishier champion, but they're going to try it again, and maybe this time actually find some real damage in these team fights.
Looks like Afreeca are going to leave the mid lane counter pick for Mickey, looking for Mickey to have a big performance against Faker. Kindred makes sense as the jungle pick, it's into Gragas, which is a very bad matchup. Early, before level 6, it's fine for Kindred, who can still out-duel the Gragas if she decides to invade. It's just Lamb's Respite, by far the most powerful thing about Kindred in team fights, can basically be completely negated by the Gragas ultimate.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you think would be decent into this Gragas?
Again, you can go for meta junglers. The likes of Lee Sin,
Elise.
Graves are both fine picks. It is going to be the Graves. Now, he went 7-0 and 8 on Graves in the SKT versus Afreeca series in Game 2 and hard carried that game, so looking to make another performance like that, but it certainly doesn't have the same dueling presence as Kindred in the early game.
Yeah. Maybe it's Graves mid for Mickey.
So they've taken away the ambiguity. They know it's going to be Poppy top.
Yeah.
Will we see Duke return to the Fiora? That's the question for SKT. Going Nautilus, who is still available, is a possibility, but because you already see Trundle, you're heavily disincentivized to go Nautilus just because Trundle ult, and he'll die even faster than Duke was dying in team fights in Game 1.
Yeah. Fiora, though, the hover here for Duke, something that he has played a good amount of in the past. Could be coming back through, and Faker maybe just relegated onto Lulu yet again, wants to play safe.
Relegated onto Lulu. Never a word I would really use the word relegated to describe Faker's Lulu, but
after that last match,
it's not a playmaking champion.
Yeah.
That's clear, and there's a lot of potential options open to Afreeca. I've seen Fly playing the Malzahar in solo queue. I'd be surprised to see Mickey play it here.
that would be a very interesting lane to keep our eye on if they decide to lock this one in. I don't even know the last time that we've seen a Malzahar in professional play.
Has been played in Korea many years ago. It does have good team fighting, but line wave clear and playmaking is what Afreeca are looking for, and it might be Twisted Fate. Now, Twisted Fate was the one champion that Mickey found a loss on in the series. Got a solo kill on Faker's Lulu in game 1 of Afreeca versus SKT, but they went on to lose that game. It's not locked in yet, but very real chance that we see Twisted Fate as the last pick for Afreeca.
It would be really great CC layering for Afreeca if they do pick up the Twisted Fate. We saw, of course, Ixu on the Poppy constantly landing wall stuns. You chain that in with a gold card, it will get locked in. It could be an immense amount of damage, plus a smoke screen on top. You're not really going to get out of that line of life. So Afreeca with a lot of potential with his team composition.
And we mentioned it before, ZTF consistently were the blind bans against Mickey on both blue and red side. Z banned this game. Twisted Fate available as a last pick in a comfortable laning matchup where he'll get pressured by the Lulu, but kill pressure's quite low. Afreeca have a really nice draft, and let's see how the Gragas priority goes, because they've gone for Gragas first pick over Bang, playing Kalista that guarantees great team fighting and lane control. That's a lot to put on a Blank who had a great IM, but looked shaky in game 1.
Yeah, he did have a little bit of pressure early on in the game, which we kind of praised him for, and then it just fell off completely, and Lyra just took over that match. So we're going to have to play much more aggressively. See how this matchup goes against this Graves as well, who has the fastest, pretty much the fastest clear in the jungle still.
Certainly the most sustained clear, even with refillable potion. He takes basically no damage, kites the comp away with his new passive, and duels quite well. It's just he's a farming jungler. He's not Nidalee who farms and can have pressure, but to be fair, it wasn't about Lyra's early pressure. He only started really dueling when he was level 9. If Graves gets that same time, he's still a great skirmishing champion.
Yeah. And of course, Mickey will have to keep our eye on him, see how he's going to use these destinies to affect the map. But when we get onto the Rift, it's game 2, Afreeca versus SKT, potentially game point in this grudge match between these two teams.
Mother Nature, everybody wants to lose.
And here we are, SKT, one loss away from suffering their second match loss by the hands of Afreeca Freecs.
Stats for SKT are incredible. We've gone over it. Everyone said it's 7-0 at IEM. If they lose this game, in their last 3 series, they would be a total of 1-6 in game score. They won no games against Longzhu, went down 2-0, a single game against Afreeca. 2-0 here, 1-6. What a world we live in.
Oh, well, this could be a really good start here for SKT. Getting that flash from Songyun. The exhaust comes out onto Snowflower. They get the stun. Flash already down here. Has to use the heal as well to try to keep himself alive. Mickey comes in with a gold card. Maybe Afreeca can turn this one around as all 5 members are here. He gets slowed out by the Ren and he goes down. That's a first blood onto Songyun. And just like that, Afreeca Freecs turn that early aggression right on its head.
It's early enough that he can go back, buy something with the gold, and enter lane with some extra stats. Now, he won't have flash, and he's against Braum, so the laning phase probably still going to be rough, but still, the bonus gold, getting Kalista rolling early, heavy price to pay for SKTelecom.
Well, you can see they're just going to swap straight over to the top side, so they're going to just get this open lane for Snowflower and Songyun. So as long as they can last for that 5-minute window until both of those summoners are up for Songyun, they're in a really great spot.
SKT, it was a nice idea, but it was over-aggression. They didn't have a ward down, they didn't have vision, they didn't know that they were going to be collapsed on by the whole team, and Wolf went for a flash, even though he wasn't going to ever be in auto range. He went for a flash Q, even with Trundle body blocking, so it was a low percentage play, and they paid for it.
Yeah, we can see just Snowflower going in by himself onto that blue buff, taking away the 1 Sentinel creep. Has to back off, though, and respect that collapse from Duke in the top side. But really good stuff here. Mickey pushing forward onto Faker, try to get as much damage in as he possibly can.
So let's take a step back and talk about compositions.
Yeah.
SKT once again have a very simple team fighting comp. It's a comp they've piloted many times. You plug and play a couple of different changes, but it takes a very similar identity to the comp that famously beat CJ Entus in the spring semifinals last year. Now, the one thing you can say this game is they have Duke on Fiora, and Fiora out-pushing, out-splitting, taking over 1v1 side lane matchups and winning against every tank is a narrative that we've talked about all year. The big thing that's changed since then is that people have shown that if you build QSS on tanks, Fiora doesn't have kill pressure on them. I think it was Hippo that was playing, returning to top lane Tom Kench, and just bought QSS as a second item after a bit of health and armor with just QSS Grand Challenge, and then was winning trades against a 2-3 item Fiora. Gamsu did the same thing at IEM, building a second item QSS and winning those trades in the side lanes. So even with items, we're seeing tanks actually be able to outmatch Fiora, and that might be a crucial factor because the side lane matchup of Fiora dominating against Poppy probably won't happen this game with correct itemization.
Yeah. We'll see what Ixu goes for this time. We saw a very early rushed Bance using on the last game. But like you said, that QSS is going to be really essential to be able to duel Duke's Fiora. We can see yet again Mickey doing a good job establishing a bit of a CS lead. He's going to be up almost 10 CS here, just 4 minutes into the game.
He went Ignite against Faker's Lulu, got a solo kill, but then really paid for not having the teleport. So
Yeah.
Ignite got him the laning advantage he wanted, but didn't have that same flexibility that teleport Twisted Fate has in the late game with double global. So this time going for the teleport.
So far though, both of these teams trading their tier 1s. Just that top one for the side of SKT and the bottom one for the side of Afreeca. Freecs, Duke though getting aggressed on. They
Flash.
do get his flash out. Speaking of flash, Songyun almost having his. Lyra though getting invaded on by Blank, who will smite away that Raptor, so Lyra gonna lose out on that, a little bit of experience.
Lyra's just been power farming. This is what you do with Graves if you get the time. If there's not lane pressure, if there's a lane swap, which means there's gonna be much less lane pressure because the pathing of the enemy jungler is evident. He's usually on the map, he's ordering turrets, he's fairly apparent. You get free time with Graves. I already talked about it. You don't even need to shop. You sit on your refillable potion. He still has a single charge of his refillable potion, even though he's killed 25 jungle monsters.
Yeah. Really solid stuff from him. You can see SKT trying to get this push onto this top tier 1 as well, but Afreeca just perfectly mirroring them in that bot side of the map. So just going to be another trade, and this could be Afreeca really well set up to take this first dragon of the game. Looks like Lyra's already starting it.
When you have all these outer turrets down, the value of Twisted Fate only goes up. He's going to be the first one to react. If you're ever caught in rotation, Twisted Fate's going to react. You're going to find yourselves outnumbered, and there's potential kills to be had when there's no outer turrets in top or bot lane for either team to fall back to.
Yep. See what SKT can do here. Tower's not yet gone down to the bot side. It will go down on this wave.
One day Lyra will shop.
Yeah. It looks like, are they going to go for this dragon? Looks like they are. The pings are coming out for it. So this is Afreeca, yet again, making moves to get the first dragon of the game.
If SKT had full information, they would definitely contest. It's literally only a Hunter's Machete for the Graves, even though he's level 6 and low health. They have the Callista Ren secure and Smite available, so probably going to be academic stuff for Afreeca.
You can see that does get taken away. SKT spotting it right at the end as Braum throws that ward in, but not going to be able to answer for it. So far, 1,000 gold lead here. 2-2 on towers, but a dragon up for Afreeca Freecs.
Now, it's worth knowing the big loser so far for the Afreeca Freecs has been Poppy, only 10 CS. Been zoned away from multiple minions, now level 3 on the bottom side of the map. It looks like they're going to send the duo lane top to try and answer Duke, but Poppy desperately needs to find experience and farm, because even if we're talking about a single second item QSS, if you've got no gold, not going to come anytime soon.
Yeah. Very squishy. Mickey and Faker as well. Quite squishy, trading back and forth here in this mid side, but just going to be nomming up on those biscuits, trying to sustain as much as possible. Ixu actually recalls just in time. Blank is here maybe to take away this blue buff. We see the pinks coming through, and this is going to be Wolf roaming over to this mid side, trying to harass out Mickey and keep off of these creeps. Slight reprieve for Faker as he's going to be able to catch up in CS.
Now, if SKT is smart, they will just rotate around this Poppy at every opportunity. When you have no outer turrets in mid and bot, there is no safe place to farm except for mid. Putting your Poppy in mid, putting your Twisted Fate overextend another lane doesn't make sense. So Poppy could potentially be denied from experience and levels for a lot of time. If she tries to enter this inner bot lane turret, she will be punished as well. Afreeca playing on the top side. They are leaving Ixu out to dry.
Yep. Let's see, Rift Herald does go down. It's going to be Snowflower taking away that buff as they rotate over to this top side of the map, going to pressure in on this tier 2 that Songy was already clearing the minions out from underneath. So once again, just 4 tower trades coming in across the board, but this is still just Afreeca with the lead just on other objectives here. The first Dragon, the first Rift Herald of the game, so making so many moves to stay ahead of SKT.
It's one of those games.
Oh, Destiny to the bot side as they go on to Bang. It's going to be the TP coming in from Faker, however. They gold card up Bang. A lot of damage coming through there from that Lulu. Mickey going to have to run away, so not able to find another kill. They don't save that tower as well, so Bang will live another day. Still holds on to both the Summers.
This is one of those games where it looks like Afreeca are winning the game much like they did in game 1, but with Ixu being so far out of this game, no CS, no levels, right now pinging 5, but still a lot of experience behind. If SKT can just rotate around the Poppy, it's effectively a 5v4 for SKT, and they can really punish the fact that Ixu won't be teamfight ready for a long time.
Yeah. With both of these tier 2 towers down, it looks like Ixu probably going to stick about 20 CS behind Duke for the majority of this as these waves keep just crashing into them as they soak them up. But this is going to give him a little bit of extra time.
Braves and Trundle needs to come to mid. Mickey's chucked out.
Snowflower coming on the side, throws down the cone. Has to be careful though. Blank is level 6. Can throw out that explosive cast. Lira playing forward. Here comes the body slam. They knock him away from the tower. There's a follow up there. Just going to get polymorphed. Get a little bit of that glitter lance. Bang goes in, takes a lot of damage onto Lira. That's going to be the collateral damage coming through as well. It's going to dissuade them from pushing in for that kill. So far, SKT is still not going to be able to find one.
And SKT make the power play in mid, but they're not on the same wavelength. You can see multiple people were kiting away as Blank made the engage. And all this time, Poppy finally finds breathing room to farm that she could not in the first 10 minutes of the game. So SKT not being able to pull out anything with their early grouping does give Ixu a way back into the game.
Now we can see this wave is building up though, so he's going to have to be cautious. Doesn't want to push too far forward without proper vision control. As a pink board, looks like he's going to throw it down in the tri-brush to try to keep himself safe. But still, don't want to move too far up and then just get caught out and go down.
Has vision on 4 members as Lulu trundles into mid lane, so
yep.
Knows that she can push out this one wave and then has to back.
And one thing that we actually didn't really note was with that Destiny play toward the bot side where they tried to kill Bang, that got the TP away from Faker. So now just one TP on Duke and still double teleport and the Destiny back up here for Afreeca Freecs. So still very much in control for the next couple minutes here before that TP comes up.
The value of having a summoner available only translates if you use it, so
very true.
Have to track and see if they can make something out of the next 2 minutes or so before Faker's teleport is back up.
Yep. Lira taking away that Raptor. We can see Ixu going up to answer this big wave that has accumulated in the top side of the map here as Duke has been continuously pushing that towards the tier 2. So it's going to get another good chunk of CS. Meanwhile, Afreeca trying to do what they can in this mid side. Duke running down behind them.
Looking for the collapse.
Don't think he's going to be able to find anything. Does get spotted out there. That's going to be the Sentinel coming in from Callista.
So with Poppy slowly creeping her way back to relevance, Afreeca having picked up the first Dragon and Rift Herald means they do have that 600 gold lead, but it's a very small one.
And Destiny gets popped. Mickey comes in here, finds Wolf and Bang. Wolf taking a lot of damage. Colin gets burned out, but they're both out of range to really take any damage from it.
Looking for a pick before Dragon spawns.
Yeah. Not going to be able to find it, though. And no summoners expended from the side of SKT either. Mickey going down to this bot side, trying to keep that wave pushing
He had to flash
against the base. But yeah, flash down for him. So that's a pretty good pickup. Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. We'll have to see if SKT is going to be able to establish themselves. They got the second Dragon of the game in that first match, but this time looks like they're not really ready for it.
Right. Ixu's very overextended now.
Yep, the dash coming through from Duke. Gets knocked back. Has to flash over the wall, but that's going to be 2 people chasing over the wall as well. Ixu looking like he's going to go down. No mana, grand challenge just for safety. And he is going to fall. Shield, he's just delaying this as long as possible, but Duke will inevitably get that kill. Now Wolf being found by Lyra. He's trying to put down a decent amount of damage here. But this could and should be Afreeca going for the second dragon of the game.
They should be able to burn it down, but they're taking their time. Fiora's still freezing in top though, so second dragon is still available for Afreeca.
Yep. See, they do start this up. Of course, Songyun on that Callista. Going to be almost impossible to take this one away, especially by Blank, who has to body slam into that. It throws out the barrel. Brent comes through, and that's the second dragon of the game going over to Afreeca in 13 minutes.
Twisted Fate teleported in just to ensure they picked up the objective. SKT are going to try and answer with mid lane turret damage. Not sure if they're going to be able to take it down. Can't see how healthy it is right now.
Yep. But right now, this is Afreeca possibly on the path for a 31-minute 5th dragon. If they can keep picking these up. Gold is not really stretched too much in favor of Afreeca. It's about 300 separating them, so not even the first blood gold, really.
Looks like this game will be answered in the side waves. Now, it's not what play-by-play casters like to hear. They want to see the big team fights, but Mickey is rushing Lichbane, not looking for Zhonya's, so team fighting is certainly going to be a secondary priority. Fiora is always looked at as one of the strongest 1v1 laners, will be able to outmatch Poppy for now, and Twisted Fate for the whole game. There's no way for Twisted Fate to outplay Fiora. She can just hold on to the riposte until she sees gold cards, so looks like Afreeca are going to wait for items specifically on Mickey, and it's all going to be about lane assignments. Can they get Twisted Fate in a lane against Lulu with his teleport up, with Destiny up, and Lichbane to try and push it down? Or will we actually get favorable lane assignments for SKT?
Yep. Right now, Mickey only has one of those things, it being the Destiny. And of course, Lichbane not yet available, and the TP has been used. So not going to be able to find a catch on the Faker. Roaming up here, getting spotted out by these wards, but Mickey's just going to stick around in this bot side and keep shoving his wave as much as possible. Duke dueling onto Ixu here. He dashes forward onto Wolf, tries to get underneath the tower, boots away the Fiora. TP comes in from Faker though. Ixu stunned into the wall with a cask, and that's going to be a kill coming in for Blank actually. Faker not able to take that one away. But now 2-1 here for SKT, and they find themselves with a gold lead.
They put 4 members into top. Twisted Fate pushing in the bot lane. They're going to lose mid turret, which is a big win for Afreeca, but losing top turret is at least going to be an experience match. No, it's still pretty healthy.
Yeah, I don't know if Faker's going to be able to take that one. Meanwhile, Mickey is applying a decent amount of pressure, but Lyra roaming down. Let's see if they actually want to make a play for this one. Looks like they're just going to try to chip away at it a little bit, but I don't think they want to really dive onto Duke.
So much damage from Graves, though. You just walk up into melee range, chunk it down. 2-for-1 trade in turrets and only a kill, so Afreeca went out again.
Yep. The arrival of Snowflower on the backside of that turret really just enabling them to actually stick around and burn that one out. So good stuff here from Afreeca, still making strong moves across the map. It looks like Rift Herald will go down here to SKT. Second one of the game.
Only their first neutral buff, though. First Rift Herald went to Afreeca.
Yep. So it's going to help them equalize this gold. Almost dead even now.
Map being so open.
Destiny comes through. Faker gets stunned up by the gold cards. A huge amount of damage from that Twisted Fate coming out. Flash over the wall here by Snowflower. Fate's Call comes in, pops up 3 members, and Afreeca are looking to wipe the floor with SKT. Snowflower is still taking up the front side. Gets stunned up by the concussive blows. Lyra, though, with the red buff. Can he find the kill onto Wolf? Throws out the Q. Isn't enough. Blank has to flash away. Flash forward. The auto attack finds the kill. No collateral damage, of course, has been used, so cannot finish off Blank. And that's another kill now coming in for Afreeca Freecs. 2-2, and gold lead right back in their favor.
Afreeca all flashed over the wall at the same time. Graves able to quick draw. Duke has both summoners up, but did not find a spot to teleport. As we see the replay, Duke decides not to teleport. You look on the minimap, there are defensive wards. There aren't ideal teleport wards, but some exist. But this is literally everyone flashing over the wall to get the world's most aggressive Callista ultimate. They only get a single kill out of it, so in terms of objectives, they don't pick up that much. Afreeca invested a lot and only got the minimum.
Yeah, that was actually a really good, albeit maybe not intentional, unbreakable by Wolf. Had the shield up, and Lyra just a little too trigger happy Throws out the collateral damage right at the start of that one, so it completely gets negated. Otherwise, that could have been an ace against SKT.
And Duke is the big winner. Got a 32 CS advantage. Also has both summoners up. Knows that every carry on the side of Afreeca has no flash. So if he gets in the back line with those extra items and can punish it in the next 5 minutes, SKT will have definitely won out that trade.
We'll have to see. So far, SKT punishing lack of summoner spells has not been something that we're seeing. Cullen comes across here as SKT do try to force up onto this tower. The TP's coming in from Ixu on the sidelines. No home guards, of course. Not yet 20 minutes. Goes in, stuns Faker onto the traffic cone, however. We are going deep. Will get locked up. Looks like he's going to go down. Duke finding that kill. And now it's just Songyun trying to kite back as fast as possible and slow him up if he can. Ixu charges up the ultimate, throws it out, knocks away the Fiora, but to what avail? It looks like the rest of Afreeca just gonna go down. Faker finding the kill, a double kill now as he takes down both Mickey and Ixu. Songyun, the only one alive, and now 2 towers in this mid lane likely gonna go down for SKT.
A reckless aggression from Afreeca. They weren't in a spot to force that hard. They were actually the team and lost out on gold this game, specifically on Ixu. You saw he was not the one-man frontline he was in the previous game. SKT, as you mentioned, pick up the 2 turrets and punish Afreeca.
Yeah, really solid stuff. Let's take another look at that one.
Just another overly aggressive engage. This time they don't have summons, only Ixu does, but they can't burst down anyone. Lyra is completely CC'd in the front line. He's the one with most of the gold for Afreeca. He was joint the highest level, had a lot of items, but him dying first and there being no frontliner meant that SKT could just keep pursuing.
Yeah. Maybe it Graves, but you can't duel that effectively without some, or at least not that far up, without some significant lifesteal. Let's see if he's going to pick up anything like a Bloodthirster or a Death's Dance. Third Dragon, however, has spawned here. Afreeca, of course, want to keep that train rolling after getting ran over by SKT in that last team fight, but SKT might be able to just out-pressure them. Mickey up in this top side of the map trying to get a split going on. Destiny and Teleport are available, so Ken joining the team if it comes down to it. Right now, it's a 5v4 in favor of SKT, with Duke hovering around that mid lane.
They don't have Keeper's Verdict, so still has that on cooldown. That's a big team fight ultimate, the only one that's down among the 10 players.
SKT, though, are backing off of that Dragon. They're moving forward here. Ixu getting slowed up. Nice traffic cone to deny that dash forward by Duke, but he's still going in. Grand challenge down onto Ixu is popped up by the Wild Growth, and he's just gonna fall. And just like that, Lyra, the Culling coming across, they dive in. Lyra trying to dash away. Explosive Cast comes in. Fate's Call goes out. They want to throw him back in, or does Snowflower come back out? Goes at the backside, half HP. Lyra, though, getting dove on. Blank goes in the barrel. Can it finish him off? No, not going to be enough, but this could be an inhibitor going down. We can see that's going to be Mickey in the top lane trying to equalize as much as possible, but Duke has gone back to try to match him. He should be able to deny him. That he can. It's going to be the TP coming through. Can't stop him. Just like that, Mickey in a bad spot. Inhibitor still standing, however, for Afreeca Freecs. SKT unable to finish it off.
Pretty incredible that they end up with the equal trade across the map.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they didn't lose that inhibitor. But it should be the first Dragon of the game for SKT. So 6% stats at 20.5 minutes. Could be pretty good.
And Lyra walks towards the top, uses Smite, doesn't have that available. See Twisted Fate and Poppy walking straight to the Dragon. Remember, Keeper's Verdict is still available, wasn't up for the last fight.
And they're coming in, Ixu goes in, Faker really low, gets stunned up, Wild Growth already used, ton of damage coming through, Poppy knockup, Faker is gonna go down. Lyra finds that, just like that, Afreeca gonna net themselves their third Dragon. Explosive Cast unable to steal it away, the Smite comes through, and Afreeca are just making moves to keep themselves in a lead.
They're on course for a 33-minute 5th Dragon if they can get the next one off spawn, so suddenly they have that backup win condition. Suddenly Mickey is only the recipe away from Zhonya's. The next fight may look very different. When Duke is grouped, his team looks very strong. Rocks Tigers have shown what Lulu and Fiora can do. And speaking of Fiora, she's coming in.
Yeah, coming in from above, and Songyun right in the forefront here. Gonna have to be careful. Snowflower, nice shield there by Ixu to deny the dash through, but Duke just gonna throw down the Grand Challenge on the Snowflower. Here comes the TP from Mickey. Let's see if he can do anything. Draws the gold card. TP coming in above as well from Faker. Traffic cone to zone him off. And this is going to be Afreeca trying to dash away. Mickey gets engaged on by that flash body slam. Slowed out by the Spooky Ghost as Ixu. That Q lands. Gold card goes out. Stuns out Blank. Ixu's still trying to take the brunt of this damage. Snowflower goes in, has to flash away, but he's going to go down. Really questionable Fate's Call right there. And now Afreeca are scrambling to get out. Looks like they will be able to exit. The Wild Growth gets used onto Bang, but that's just going to be a free pickup there. Snowflower, not sure why he went back in.
Yeah, that was definitely a poor Fates call. Maybe there was a split call, and at the end of the day, once you press the button, you've committed, even on the low health value. No way to turn for Afreeca. They do get away. There's no easy objective for SKT to pick up. They're not able to turn it on to Baron. So the objective war is still being won by Afreeca, but the team fight, specifically with Duke, completely in control of the matchup against Poppy. Poppy is still struggling for a second item of the game.
Yeah, and like you said, just that massive discrepancy in CS for Ixu. Really a detriment to him. 0-4-1, so not even getting much gold off of assists. Just the one to his name, trying to finish that frozen fist, but not able to do it quite just yet. Meanwhile, 3-0-3 Duke, he's having one hell of a game.
Whenever you see these lane swaps, if you're not exactly mirroring, one team will get a win somewhere and a big loss somewhere. They got the neutral objectives. The first Dragon and the Rift Herald was what they got, and what they exchanged was Duke getting experience and gold, and Ixu basically having to be a human ward in his own jungle. There was large swaths of the first 5 to 10 minutes where Ixu was sitting at level 3 at his Wolves pit, not even be able to completely clean out the Wolves. Now, if they get 5 Dragons and win the game, it was worth it. If they get collapsed on for multiple team fight wins for SKT, then it all comes back to that initial decision.
Yep. See Duke just going back down to this bot side, trying to split. Mickey as well on the top side. Teleport is not available, has the Destiny though. He's gonna have to recall, however, as he's about to spot out 3 members of SKT who are hungering for his blood, so he will make it out safely. 4 members actually. Faker joined the chase, but total vision control over Baron right now for SKTelecom.
Still difficult to beta Baron against double teleport. Destiny, this is a summoner spell, will reveal, so for now, Baron not a realistic objective. With a pick though, certainly a possibility.
Yep, Scrying Orb is also there from Songyun, so they always throw that out if they have any kind of inkling of an idea that SKT might be taking it. See though, Ixu just has to stick around this bottom lane to try and stop Duke from pushing onto those inhibitor towers, but time and time again, he's just going to continually lose these duels until he can get a QSS.
All Afreeca has to do is the 6 minutes between Dragons, find a way to swap farm between Ixu and just any member on the side of SKT to get Poppy those items to relevance and just not give up back. That's all they have to do. They just need to be defensive and fight every 6 minutes. And for now, if SKT can't find somewhere to get a pick, can't find a way to punish, then Afreeca really stays very competitive in this game.
Yep. Duke and Faker looking to take this blue buff away from Afreeca. Ixu is here, however. He's going to try to get it. Not going to be able to do it, though. So it looks like Faker just re-ups his blue. This is going to be potentially 4th Dragon for Afreeca Freecs spawning in just under 2 minutes. Would be very important for them to pick up. This is interesting, though. Mickey is just completely sticking himself in this top lane.
Well, he needs to pop his ult now.
Yes, he does, but Blank is there to interrupt. There's an explosive cast, so
He's
not
dead.
going to be able to get it. He's going to go down. The question is, who gets the kill? Looks like it might just be Faker, and it is. And with that pick, that could be the inspiration that SKT needs to go ahead and start up this Baron.
That was Mickey overextending to create map pressure because Poppy was not able to do that on the bot side. They get punished for it. With Whimsy, they can certainly get more picks now.
Yeah, they're actually just collapsing in on this mid side. Songyun all off on his lonesome. Look at that damage. Pops the heal, but it doesn't even matter. Duke just melts him out. And just like that, that is going to be the Baron here for SKT.
They're going to go over to it now. Lyra is level 13, once again higher level than his opponent. SKT really need to stop there being a smite wall. There should be no world where in a 5v3 scenario there's an equal smite wall.
Yeah, Lyra needs a miraculous steal here. Throws out the smoke screen, trying to clear out this vision.
Double teleport's going to be 5v5.
The TP is coming in here. Baron only below half HP. Actually, looks like SKT is going to have to peel off this wolf. Going to eat that gold card. Bang dashing forward here, takes a bit of damage. Lyra, though, on the exchange, taking a hell of a lot more. Has to dash away. Mickey on the sidelines, has to pop his Zonias, but all 5 members crawling on top of him. He goes down. Duke finds that kill, I believe his 5th of the game. And SKT, they want to start the Baron back up. Do they want to recall? Right now, the world is their oyster. It looks like it's going to be the recalls.
Kalista had just respawned, home guarded to mid, so it was going to be 4v5 at best.
Yeah.
4th Dragon spawning.
Yeah, this could be the first for SKTelecom. Those stats would be quite juicy for them. We can see Bang already starting it up. Lyra is nearby. Smite going to come available, but they don't even want to contest this. They say, you know what? Just give it to them. We don't want to fight again. We need to scale more.
The big thing is that SKT with double teleport on their soul laners, both of them available, could shop, come to the fight freshly shopped, already have a gold lead, and in a 5v4, there's no way to win that for Afreeca. With the way death time is now, where they're longer, up to about 42 minutes in the game than they were previously, one kill at this point could potentially mean an inhibitor. So going for a fourth dragon switch, swapping an attempt at smiting the fourth dragon for a guaranteed kill for SKT just doesn't work in this particular meta.
Yep. You can see Duke, really the shining star of SKT for this match. 5-0-3, crushing his opponent in CS, crushing everybody in CS actually. He's the highest CS in the game with that Fiora, and is sitting a little bit above 2,000 gold ahead of Ixu.
I mean, the moment the early game transpired the way it did, it was going to be Duke's game to win or lose for SKT. He was by far in the driver's seat. Ixu was hung out to dry, and it was a question of could SKT coordinate around the Fiora and win the team fights they were served up to do? The answer, increasingly, has been yes.
Yeah. Ixu finally has the QSS, but even so, I don't know if he can still win a duel against Duke. We're actually going to find out here. Gets stunned in the wall. Lyra is here to back him up. Propose comes through. Grand Challenge gets thrown down onto Lyra. Duke taking a lot of damage. Has to flash away, but the flash follow. Oh, he jukes out. The collateral damage not going to connect. And Duke makes it out with his life. Destiny popped, however. Several members are by this Baron pit. It's going to have to be a recall and a TP from Duke. Baron down to half HP. Looks like they're sticking to it. They're going to have to peel out, however. Afreeca coming around the sidelines. Calling gets used, but it's not really doing much damage to the front line here of Afreeca Freecs. Duke just holding on to the TP. Looks like he's going to roam right back out of the base, and the Baron is going to be left alone for a little bit more time.
And this Lulu mid, when Fiora is not grouped, your Baron damage isn't the highest. They weren't confident enough to burn it down, even though Graves had shown in the bottom lane. So SKT probably smart to back off. There was a world where they could burn it down, but it was such a precise amount of time. You just really couldn't make that call if you're not 100% sure. They weren't, so they backed away.
Smart stuff. SKT realizing that they do have an advantage, but also knowing that they can very easily lose it. Playing the safe game.
So definitely needs the levels. That's the thing that's really counting against it. With 2 armor items in QSS, if he was level 16, he could probably stand tall to the Fiora, but as it stands, just definitely can't.
Trying to get as much of that experience and CS as humanly possible, but Duke is just unrelenting in that bot side, and now double TP advantage here for SKT. Mickey's will come up very soon, about 25-30 seconds left on that, but Ixu's is a long ways off.
That's why you see Blank and Wolf going on this warding mission. They're setting up flank wards for the next time Baron started.
Destiny as well, not yet up. So a lot of pressure here SKT could apply. You can see vision around that pit yet again completely in their control.
Mickey's playing with very shallow defensive vision, so he's certainly overextended fighting and clearing waves where he is, but sort of player that likes to play on the razor's edge.
Yeah, we saw that cost him his life the last time that he did it.
Out of Destiny range now, he's pinging onto this open inhibitor. I don't know if the 4 men can hold true to SKT, and he's certainly not going to be able to rush to that inhibitor quick enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he wants to do. Pops the Destiny here.
Looking for backdoor.
He's going to go straight for the inhibitor, so he's going to trade inhibitors, but what can SKT also get off of this push is the big question. They're trying to keep him contained in the base. The recall coming through. Mickey doing what he can. TP's burned out, though, and it looks like Mickey's just going to have to use his teleport to get out, but a nice wild growth by Faker interrupts it at the last second, and he gets the kill. Huge amount of damage coming through.
Mickey basically had a 50-50. If it's Fiora, I get away. If it's Lulu, I don't. It was Lulu, and he falls down.
Yeah, really good stuff, and with the Twisted Fate down, no Destiny or TP to use, this is going to be SKT going back to this Baron for the 3rd time, and I think this time they're going to be able to take it.
Worth noting that Lyra still is 1 level of blank. It'll be a hero play. You'd have to get in there quick. May not even get a chance.
Yeah, he's just clearing out some vision, just going to go ahead and back off since you know what, it's not worth it. And Baron goes over to SKT, who now have a 5.3 thousand gold lead over Afreeca Freecs.
It's looking like Afreeca, if they're willing to commit to such aggressive backdoor plays, they probably realize that 5v5 is just not a world they live in. Ixu, once again, just nothing he can do to hold a candle to Duke, and Lulu Fiora has always been a fearsome combo. We've just seen the 1v1 side lane where Fiora is maybe being found out by the QSS. When it comes to team fighting, when you have what Lulu provides for that Fiora, the Whimsy, the Wild Growth to have that consistent slowing field, and the knockup, the team fights is still 100% effectiveness from a Fiora perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just extending and elongating that gold lead that he has over top of Ixu right now. 2,500 in total. Hasn't grown too much. He was 2K the last time we checked in, but even so, that is a very, very scary Fiora. Now a BF sword in his inventory as well. See, Bang takes a bit of damage. Lyra's still doing a good amount of damage here, but they do enough to try to turn these fights around.
They have strong wave clear. The Baron buff makes it so much harder for Afreeca.
Graves Q still doing a bit. Calling comes across. Snowflower's going to be taken down to about 50%. This tower is just getting chipped away. That cannon minion, the MVP here, looking it down to about 20%. Still the split from Duke in the bot lane. Ixu has to stick around there to try to deal with this, or they lose 2 towers. This is a really rough spot for Afreeca to be in.
They have no option. Only really the Graves ult is probably going to clear out this minion. They can't do it.
Yeah, that's going to be the tower going down. Lyra has to flash away. Explosive cast not really going to hit anybody, but it might not matter. The gold card coming through. Meanwhile, Duke has completely solo killed Ixu. Songyun finds the kill onto Blank. There'll be a slight little reprieve here, but it looks like they're going to lose all 3 inhibitors off of this push, and I don't think there's going to be any coming back from this, especially with the super creeps coming into the mid wave. Baron and Power, Nexus Tower already down below half HP. It's do or die time from Afreeca, and I think it's going to be the latter.
It's looking like they're dying. They have to go for a 4v4. There is no way to defend 3 inhibitors down.
Traffic Cone comes out. That's going to be collateral damage. They throw Snowflower in. Wolf is going to fall. Duke falls as well. His first death of the game. Massive shutdown here for Songyun. Can they get onto Faker? Flash is available should he have to use it, but Mickey comes around the backside, finds Bang, he goes down. This could actually be an ace for Afreeca if they can get the chase. Snowflower with the chase over the wall. Throws out the cone, but Faker is just a little too quick. 4th Dragon gonna come in here for Afreeca Freecs, but 2 inhibitors down. Nexus Tower almost falling as well. They are very much not out of the woods quite just yet.
It's just not enough. They also didn't get all the summoners, so Bang will have a flash in his next fight. Wolf will as well. Duke dies with his summoners available. The 4th Dragon, when you have 3 inhibitors down, sounds wonderful, but how are you ever going to relieve enough pressure to actually go contest a 5th Dragon with no inhibitors?
Yeah. It's just a rough spot. I mean, it's possible for them to come out on top of this one, but just extremely unlikely.
At this point in the game, with 3 inhibitors down,
2.
With 2 inhibitors down and a naked inhibitor, the big issue is that there's a team fight that Afreeca can win with the comp they have. It's just, why is SKT opting into a team fight when split pushing and when you can still get a solo kill as Fiora over Ixu, even though he has the zone, sorry, already has the QSS? I think it's just, it would be a mistake to go for a true 5v5. If SKT just play the methodical game, they should be able to find a window to win.
Yeah. It's more likely than not. But we've seen crazier comebacks before, so don't want to write them out of it quite just yet. But for the time being, SKT looking really much more dominant in this match compared to the first one, and maybe taking us to game 3. Certainly don't want to go down to Afreeca Freecs yet again. You can see those bait over the wall, just waiting for Duke to push up, but I don't know if he's silly enough to do that.
Duke is such a monster. Bloodthirst to complete now. We'll be in the front line with the Whimsy and the Wild Growth, so be just completely a menace.
Culling already used. We have super creeps coming in from the top and bottom side. Inhibitor has respawned in the mid, but Duke should be able to finish this one off. Bang not quite going to get stunned into the wall there by Ixu. Inhibitor goes down on the bot side. Let's see what Afreeca Freecs can do. This is really SKTelecom's game to lose at the moment. It's going to be Destiny pop. Blank gets stunned into the wall by Ixu, but he's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Mickey comes around the backside, finds Bang. That's going to be the Wild Growth coming through, and Mickey goes down. Bang's still alive, trying to lifesteal as much as he possibly can. He does fall. Songyun going off here, finding himself a double kill. Can he get more? It's just going to be Duke and Faker standing. They're on him. He's polymorph. He goes down. Snowflower is going to fall. That's going to be the ace for SKTelecom. That's going to be the game, and we are going to game 3.
That was Duke there. He actually riposted, got the stun onto the Callista, took him down. Duke was set up to succeed, and boy did he ever. 7-1-6, 8-1-7. Welcome return by Faker, and we're going to a game 3.
Yeah, and that was quite the turnaround. We looked like SKT just completely scrambling for that first game. This time, coming into game 2, really looking like the team that we saw at IEM. And Afreeca now going back onto the blue side. Gonna have to pull out all the stops if they want to take this series away.
Afreeca were granted that fight at the end of the game that I said there was no reason for SKT to do, and they came so close to winning it regardless. But SKT, they, for the great majority of this game, played smart, understood that it was in Duke they had to trust, did so, found the win through Duke, and the pairing of Fiora and Duke finally put the carry pants on like they did at IEM repeatedly and take us to a game 3.
Yeah, so what do you think? Do we see a Fiora ban in the near future?
We'll have to see. On the blue side, they should have the flexibility to do so, so potentially.
All right, well, a lot of questions here for Afreeca and what they're going to do with their draft. SKT as well had a questionable draft when they were on the red side, so let's see if they can correct their mistakes. But on the tension building here, game 3 coming up. Afreeca certainly wanting this win more than anything, and SKT do not want to go down without one hell of a fight as we saw in that last match. This last game is going to be very telling. When we come back, it's game 3, Afreeca versus SKT.